Hey everybody. More depressing news. So this week, once again, we had a couple tragedies happen with police-involved shootings. We had Philando Castile. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing his name right. 32-year-old man, a couple weeks away from his 33rd birthday. He was reaching for his driver's license. He told the officer that he did have a gun in the car, but he was simply reaching for his license. As he reached over for his license, the police officer shot him 4 times. His girlfriend live streamed him dying. His girlfriend live streamed the whole thing. If it's on Facebook or if it's on YouTube, let it be there. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of people, innocent people dying. This guy worked as a school nutritionist. He didn't have a criminal record. He worked at a school with kids. And he was engaged to be married. His own fiancée recorded his death. And to add insult to injury, she was told to get on the ground. As he laid in the car dying, she was told to get on the ground, get on her knees. And I guess from what the report said, the videotape showed the phone looking up at the sky. You can just hear her pleading with God, please don't let him be gone. Please don't let him be gone. So freaking sad. Mr. Castile shouldn't have gone through what he went through. His fiancée, Miss Diamond Reynolds, should not have gone through what she went through. It's just another tragedy. This goes back to the Eric Garner case, the I Can't Breathe, where police believed he was selling cigarettes illegally, single cigarettes. So what do? They hold him on the ground, put so much pressure on him and on his neck he can't breathe. That's where the whole saying, I can't breathe, came from. Oh, and then before that, let's see, there was Michael Brown. Yeah, I remember Michael Brown. Michael Brown on August 9, 2014. Video all over YouTube, all over the internet of his dead body lying in the streets after he had been shot multiple times. Now, there are varying stories about what actually happened, why Michael Brown was shot. Some say he was on his knees. That's where the saying, don't shoot, comes in. Some saying, then there was this conservative media news report that he robbed a store without any weapons. He just threateningly jerked around a clerk and then ran, and the police officer, Darren Wilson, went on pursuit for the suspects. And Darren Wilson was acquitted of murdering Michael Brown. The boy's body lay there in the street as his mother was saying, please God, no. Oh, and let's not forget Freddie Gray either. Freddie Gray, you guys remember him, right? April 12th, 2015, Freddie Gray. The police stopped him because they suspected that he had a pocket knife, a switchblade, which the prosecutor, Miss Mosby, Marilyn Mosby over in Baltimore, Maryland, said basically was a crock of shit. He didn't have a knife on him. There was no reason to have a knife on him. But the police were like, well, he was running unprovoked and la 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 la. But right after he was taken to police custody, he died because of spinal injuries. And the police that were involved with his arrest have gotten away. They've been acquitted. Or their charges are being dropped. Even though the prosecutor is trying her best, nobody's going to convict the cop. And of course, a few days ago, there was Elton Sterling, a 37-year-old man, a black man, of course, killed by a police officer. Ladies and gentlemen, there's just too much violence in this country right now. Look at the shooting that just happened with the police officers. 7 injured, 5 dead. 12 officers attacked in Dallas. This is going to continue. This civil unrest is going to continue in our country because we've got the poor being treated like trash. We got people of color still being treated like it's the Jim Crow South. We got police officers given more and more power and more autonomy through new laws so that they don't have to answer to regular laws that you and I would have to answer to. They can shoot to kill. All they gotta say is, oh, I feel threatened. They can shoot to kill. Right here, right in Vermont, right in Burlington a few months ago, there was a mentally ill man holding a butter knife, shot in the shower, dead. I'm not saying killing police is justified, because it's not. There are good police out there who do their jobs for the right reasons. But then there's the police who go rogue and who definitely have problems, anger problems, problems that are psychological, and they should not hold a badge. See, President Obama in a speech said we need to, quote, do better. We need to do better as a country. No, Mr. President, here's what we need to do as a country. We need to change the laws in this country so that the Bill of Rights is reaffirmed in this country. We need to make it so that people, when they are arrested, they are Mirandized in this country. We need to make it so that every police interaction is videotaped. There is a videotape on a police officer's shoulder. We need full accountability for those who are enforcing the law. There are too many police that play fast and loose. And there are people out there who are criminals who play fast and loose too. I can understand the public sentiment. I can understand the police sentiment. But there needs to be accountability from all ends. What started this country, what made this country so great, was the Bill of Rights. In the 60s and 70s, Dr. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, civil rights leaders like Representative John Lewis as well, Bernie Sanders, they all fought for civil rights. And it was signed into law. Even though Lyndon Johnson had to drag the Democratic Party into the 21st century, he did it. Civil rights was passed. Over the past couple of years, the Supreme Court has gutted the Voting Rights Act. They have passed Citizens United to make money, the law of the land, basically. Money buys politicians, therefore money buys laws. Money overrules the law. Power and authority overrule individual sovereignty. No, what we need is a country to come together and reaffirm that yes, we are a country of laws, but we are a country of Bill of Rights, a country of freedom, a country where all men are created equal. My heart goes out to all those who died. All those senseless deaths. I can only imagine the rage I would feel if someone in my family, someone I loved, was murdered by a police officer senselessly. Mr. President, we don't need to do better. You need to do better. You in Washington need to do better. And if you all don't, we're going to kick your asses out. Oh, and by the way, every single time an innocent person is killed by a police officer, the officer should be charged and the police chief should resign. Like I said, body cams on each cop. And I think every person should start putting cameras in their cars. They may be like $60, $70 at your local Walmart, but you can get dash cams. You can get cams put all over your cars. Record shit. Keep police accountable. If they're going to keep us citizens accountable, we need to keep the police accountable. Everybody needs to be held accountable. Too many lives have been taken. Too much sadness. Too much loss. Like Bernie Sanders said, it's time for us to come together.